underground street racing
circuit back in 1999.
Yeah.
Correct.
Kind of
This was
like
a long
Fast
time
and
ago.
Furious.
Very much like Fast and Furious. You had lots of guys with pimped up cars, pumped up egos, and lots of pretty girls hanging on to them.
So
Scantily dressed, I'm guessing.
They very scantily dressed, so just like Fast and Furious.
Okay, so how did you manage to get embedded into that scenario? I mean, what was your cover?
Well, the backstory was that during that time, underground street racing was all the rage. And a guy with a fast Porsche at 2 a.m. in the morning was racing at 200 kilometers an hour and hit a pedestrian and killed the pedestrian and then ran off. There was huge public pressure on the police to crack down on this scene, and so we decided at that point to get in. And so what we did was we spent a lot of time convincing our bosses to spend lots of money on my old Nissan Maxima car. We pimped it out, we dropped down the suspension, we put new spark plugs in, a new intake to increase the muscle of the car, and then we began infiltrating the underground street scene. And when you showed up there, you had to basically throw around a few names like, hey, you know Carlos? And they're like, how do you know Carlos? And it was a bit of circling around each other. And the first few times, they just avoided us, they just scattered, and they met up somewhere else quietly. But after a little bit of time, one of the guys decided he liked us. So then he would start calling us and saying, okay, we're going to meet at this Shell gas station at 2 a.m. Meet us there. And we'd show up with my pimped out old Nissan Maxima. And eventually they allowed us to go with them. It was often a cat and mouse game with police. Police were often tracking these guys, and so they would jump from one station to the next, and finally when the cops are gone, they would race for this quarter-mile track. The person would stand in the middle with a t-shirt or a flag, 2 cars, and they would race. And it was just high adrenaline, lots of hangers-on. We ourselves never raced. There were lots of people watching,
Right.
so we were often just hanging out with these guys.
So it was you and your cameraman.
Yeah, we had an interesting storyline. We argued that, or we told them that we were Taiwanese enthusiasts that loved racing, and my cameraman was a Taiwanese guy, but he was much older, so he posed as my father.
Oh.
And for some strange reason, they bought it, which was great.
That's bizarre.
Sometimes the most bizarre stories become the most believable. And that's what you have to go with. And they're like, oh, okay, that is bizarre, but we believe you.
So you never raced at all?
No, we never raced. We did go with them at high speed on the highways, but we try never to break the rules or break the law. And that's what we have to do as journalists. So, we have to keep in mind that sometimes when you're going at 300 kilometers an hour or so, you could hit a pedestrian or kill somebody, and then how do you answer for that? So, we often have a hard debate as to how far we'll go.